We're looking at a chart of the top weapons importers, and you could see a lot of these Middle Eastern countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kuwait. The United States is their top weapons supplier. So if the United States were to pull out their own military assets, these countries would go on a huge US defense spending spree, and it would do great for our defense contractors. It would also lead to a great deal of military and economic cooperation with the whole region. They would have to do a lot of intense training drills to make sure that they knew how to integrate properly. And I bet you that an Arabic version of NATO would stomp out all of the proxy wars that are taking place in the region. And once they manage that, they would start doing the same thing in Northern Africa. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of Americans, at least the ones that I know, they look at the Middle East and Islam as some kind of like Mordor and Sauron and all that stuff. But if you look at the history of Europe and the United States for the past 500 years, we were kind of that guy. It doesn't matter if you think it was a good or a bad thing, but Europe and America were able to hold the world hostage for centuries. And one of the reasons why they were so successful in doing that is that they were able to keep every other country or every other tribe within a country at each other's throats. Now, the only problem is this has been tried before. Starting from the 1950s, there's something called the Joint Defense and Economic Cooperation Treaty between the states of the Arab League, and that was put in 1950. Technically, it's still in effect today, but it's primarily an economic cooperative, and they haven't done much towards military strengthening and cooperation. In 1955, they tried to set up the Baghdad Pact. It did not work. By the 1980s, they tried to form something called the GCC, which was the Gulf Central Council. It didn't work. They tried it again in the early 2000s. It didn't work. And then around 2015, 2017, they tried to have another version of the Arab League. It didn't work. And forgive me, it wasn't the Gulf Central Council, it was the Gulf Cooperation Council. Whoops. So for right now, while the idea of an Arab version of NATO is a great thing, it's just that. It's just an idea. It's sadly a pipe dream because these countries still have so much tension going on between the two, and they would all resent and resist anyone who tried to step up to be a leader, even if it was Saudi Arabia or Egypt. I am the Geo Husar, and if I taught you something, let me know. Thanks for watching.